As the year comes to a close, we are going to take a look at 5 UFC fighters you should watch out for in 2024. In this list are 5 individuals who are not currently ranked in the top 10, but have championship potential at their weight class. While these entries may not be household names yet, they soon will be. So watch out. Number 5 is Vitor Petrino with a record of 10 wins and 0 losses. Light heavyweight powerhouse Vitor Petrino has looked nothing short of spectacular in his 3 fights with the UFC. Petrino fought in respected organizations like UAE Warriors before joining the promotion and impressed UFC President Dana White on the Contender Series. On his 3-fight winning streak, Petrino has defeated Anton Tukalj, Marcin Pracino, and Modestas Bukauskas. Of Petrino's 10 professional wins, 7 have come by knockout. Petrino knocked out Bukauskas in November of this year and will certainly have a fight booked soon in 2024. At 26 years old, the 6'2" Petrino is one of the brightest prospects to watch at 205 pounds. With champions hurt and longtime contenders close to retirement, Petrino is a fresh face in division filled with hungry prospects. Number 4 is another undefeated mixed martial artist, Tatsuro Taira, with 15 wins. The country of Japan has never had a UFC champion. That could change very soon thanks to 23-year-old standout Tatsuro Taira. The talented flyweight prospect dominated in the promotion Shudo before joining the UFC in 2022. Taira burst on the scene with 5 straight victories in the UFC, 2 of which came by armbar. At 125 pounds, there are not many grapplers with the technique of Taira. While Tatsuro does have 5 wins in the promotion, he has yet to face a ranked fighter. At one time, the country of Japan was an MMA powerhouse with the Pride Fighting Championships, as they were in complete control of the martial arts landscape. Since the sale of Pride to the UFC, not many Japanese fighters have found success inside the promotion. If Taira can rise to the top of the flyweight division, he will become an international superstar. Number 3 is French fighter Benoit St Dennis, 13 wins and a single loss. Benoit St Dennis is one of the toughest fighters in the sport and is certainly someone to watch in 2024. The former French Special Forces officer is no stranger to combat. The European grappling champion debuted in the UFC against dangerous Brazilian Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos, up a weight class from where he normally competes. Dos Santos is a tremendous fighter who knocked out current middleweight champion Sean Strickland earlier in his career. St. Dennis's willingness to face such a tough opponent on short notice impressed many fight fans immediately. Since St. Denis has returned to 155 pounds, he's won fights in a row by finish. The God of War is St. Denis's nickname and accurately describes his violent style. On the ground, Benoit has shown the ability to finish fights with submissions and ground and pound. St. Denis is one of the most aggressive fighters on the roster and is very fun to watch. At UFC 295, St. Denis showed improvements in his striking, knocking out New York brawler Matt Frevola with a head kick. This is definitely a fighter to watch out for in the lightweight division. Number 2 is Joe Pyfer. With a record of 12 wins and 2 losses, Joe Bodybags Pyfer has been on a tear since his contract-winning performance on Dana White's Contender Series. Pyfer debuted against Alen Amedovski, winning by knockout in the first round. In his next 2 fights, Pyfer finished UFC veterans Gerald Meerschaert, KO/TKO, and Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, submission. Pyfer is a physical force in the middleweight division and seems to be a very well-rounded prospect. Pyfer is a plus athlete whose natural strength and coordination make him an interesting prospect at 185 pounds. Outside the UFC, Pyfer stays active, competing in jiu-jitsu competitions for Fury Pro Grappling. Pyfer will face his first real step up in competition against perennial contender Jack Hermansson in February. Hermansson is a tricky veteran who has an underrated jiu-jitsu game. We will see more of what Pyfer has to offer on the feet in this 2024 matchup. Before we go to number 1, make sure you punch the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Number 1 is no other person than the undefeated Bo Nickal. One of the hottest prospects in all of professional sports is Bo Nickal. The American-born wrestler was a standout collegiately at Penn State, winning 3 national championships and 3 Big Ten titles. Bo started his career in 2022 and has gone 5-0 in his short time in MMA. Nickal is one of the most credentialed wrestlers the UFC has seen and is following in the footsteps of all-time greats Daniel Cormier and Henry Cejudo. Training at American Top Team, Nicol spars with some of the best fighters in the world. In Nicol's last win over Val Woodburn, he was the largest betting favorite, minus 3,000 in UFC history. Nicol has all the potential in the world. For a lifelong grappler, Nicol is a very impressive striker who seems to keep improving with each performance. Recently, UFC President Dana White announced that Nicol will face Cody Brundage at the promotion's 300th event in 2024. There you have it, 5 underdog UFC fighters who are poised to make a big splash in 2024. These fighters are not just talented, they're hungry, driven, and ready to make their mark. So keep an eye out for them in the octagon. You never know, one of these fighters could be the next big thing in UFC.